Welcome back and happy prosperous 2025, country boardwalkers. I'm CB Mac, and I hope you had a wonderful happy holiday season. In this video today, I thought we would get prepared for doing some plein air painting this year. Plein air painting with more tutorials for you guys is one of my New Year resolutions this year. So, in today's video, I thought we would take my Etchr Lab mini 19 well ceramic palette and fill it with my professional grade MaimeriBlu watercolors. Over the Christmas holidays, I also got 3 more different tube colors of MaimeriBlu paints, some reds and some greens. So I'm going to swatch those out for you and add those to the palette as well. So, let's get started. All right, boardwalkers, I've got my professional grade watercolor tubes out so we can put them in this mini travel 19 wells porcelain palette from Etchr. Let me go ahead and open that up again and unbox that for you guys. It comes with a little scan code for you to stream art classes when you buy yours. I got this one as a free gift from Etchr because I had participated in their watercolor color challenge contest last year, right before my birthday. This is the Etchr Lab ceramic palette designed by Stephanie Law. And it comes with the little cloth thing. It's the 19 wells one. It's got a nice big deep well in there. And it's got these little cloth protectors in between each of them. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I think I'm going to put a strip of magnetic tape like this one in the lid. I'm going to have it on my board like I do underneath this one. Right here, there's this big strip of it. But I think what I'm going to do traveling is put it on there on a magnetic strip. Now, yes, the ceramic palettes do shift in there, but that keeps that pretty secure unless the wind just completely topples my setup. But it's got a nice 19 wells palette. And it's got this mixing palette area. So I think this is going to work really well for the setup that I want to do for plein air painting in my setup. Now, as I am filming this, I do believe that Etchr, just this past week, over the Christmas holidays, has come out with a 3D printed carrying case for both the 19 wells. It's a 37 wells palette. But they do have a 3D printed plastic carrying case that will hold these. I think they've got that just coming out. All right, I'm using the MaimeriBlu watercolors, and we've got some Winsor and Newton watercolors in here. We've also got some of the Daniel Smith watercolors. Now, if you notice these tubes, the things that are missing that are not on the lid are the metallic colors that I have in my professional grade one. And I'm not going to put those in the travel palette because I've only got 19 spaces unless I use the mixing well areas. And I kind of don't want to do that right yet. I might do it at a later time, maybe. So, also, I have added 3 additional colors to my palette. We swatched these out last time. Remember, I had left a space for orange. I had left a space for the hooker's green or the cobalt green. And then I had burnt umber and sepia space, Davies gray maybe, or a black space. And then I had 2 question mark spaces. Well, I have decided over the holidays to buy the hooker's green, which I'm going to put in my big palette along with the little palette, but we'll do it in the little palette today. And at a later time, I will fill up the bigger palettes. But I will go ahead and swatch these colors once I put them in this little thing. And then I'm going to do the Sandal Red and the Rose Madder or Alizarin watercolor. And you're probably saying, why did you pick 2 more red colors to go with your palette since you've already got primary Red-Magenta and Pyrrole Red? I was doing my Christmas cards and I was noticing that I was struggling to mix a dark, rich, winey purple red for my holly berries and everything, and so I just wanted a different color red. So that's the reason why. So I'm not going to put these 3 colors. I'm not going to show you me putting them in the big professional palette and that, but I will go ahead and we'll put them in this smaller palette. And when we put them in, I will do the swatching on the paper here to show you how that's going to go. So, let's see how many colors we have. We have our 6 primaries. We got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I have 23 colors, so I need to take out a few colors and only do 19. So, I've got 2 grays. I think what I may do is I may take out the Jane's gray and not use that one. And then I probably won't use any of the whites. Although I don't know. I kind of like my titanium white. So I might take the titanium white. And I've got 2 of these turquoises here. I'm not sure if I want to use the phthalo turquoise or the cobalt turquoise. And that. If you notice on our color chart, the phthalo turquoise and the cobalt turquoise, those are both looking about the same. So I think what I might do, I think I'm going to take the Winsor Newton out. And since this, not the cobalt turquoise, the cobalt turquoise is a little bit lighter color to me, I think what I'm going to do is stick with the Daniel Smith phthalo turquoise because it has that honey in it And it's about the same creaminess as the MaimeriBlu. I have noticed that the Winsor & Newton is not quite as moist as the Daniel Smith and the MaimeriBlu when you set them up in your palettes. So I think that is what I'm going to do. All right, the color that I'm going to put in the very center of my 19 Wells palette, I think is going to be my primary yellow, or what is equivalent to the lemon yellow. And that is because in the past 4 or 5 years that I have been painting, I have realized that I use an awful lot of yellow. I did not think I would use that much of that color, but that is my go-to color always for either underpaintings, or I'm using it by itself, or I'm using it to mix with any of my reds or blues. So I use it really more than the cadmium yellow or even the Naples yellow even. All right, so I'm going to start up at the 12 o'clock position, kind of, on this next section. And this is my cadmium yellow. And then do my Naples yellow. I'm going to go completely different from my setup in my professional big Meeden palette, since it doesn't have the primaries separated here. And do my continuous color wheel. Now that's the joy of setting up your own palettes, is that you can mix and match how you want to set them up. All right, on my reds, I think I want to set it up like this with the primary red magenta next. I'm going to turn this. Do my primary red. Get in there. These little palettes are hard to fill up with enough paint. All right, that's the primary red magenta. And then we've got the Pyrrole red. Ooh, that one's really moist. All right, then the next one is going to be this Sandal Red. And we'll swatch this one out real quick. Get a little bit of water. You can already see how it's different from the other ones. Get a little bit of color there. And we'll take away that hair. Cat's been on my palette again. So I'm picking up. All right, we're going to put this red in. This is a nice, really like cherry red, which is what I was really needing for my berries, for my Christmas cards this past few weeks. And there you can see it. You can see how it's a little different, warmer red richer, or no, cooler red actually than my other ones. It's somewhere in between the primary magenta and the Pyrrole, I think. All right. Then the next color we have is this Rose Madder, and the Italian brand has it here listed as an equivalent to the Alizarin, and it is a really dark, rich red. You'll see what I mean by that one. Ooh. These little palettes are really hard for me to keep the paint in right. All right. You see how that one is a totally different red. Really different. All right, let's make sure my brush is really clean. And we will swatch this one out now. I think I got way too much paint on there. Goodness. All right. Ooh, yeah, that's a really rich red. That's what I was thinking. This was the one that I actually used a lot on my Christmas cards this past month. All right, let's take that out. All right, and that you can see is another really dark, really cool version of a red. So we've got the Rose Madder Alizarin, we've got the Sandal Red, I've got my primary Red-Magenta, and my Pyrrole Red. Now I still need to get an orange, I'm thinking. Although my Pyrrole Red and my Cadmium yellow and my primary yellow and my Naples yellow make a really good orange. But I might want to get still a pre-made orange. But we'll see. All right, now we're going to turn this again, and I'm going to go right here with my next color, which is going to be my primary blues. So let's set these up with these. I think I'm going to put my Quinacridone Lake in front of that. And I've got primary blue Cyan, the Berlin blue, the Ultramarine, and the Cerulean. I'm going to smack my Cerulean in between here because I feel like he's a little bit lighter than the Berlin and the Ultramarine. And we'll continue filling up this palette with these colors. Oh, get back in there. These tubes of paint are 12 milliliters, so they're going to last me a good long time, I'm thinking. All right, that was the Quinacridone Lake. Now we've got the primary blue Cyan. Ooh, go back in. Come on. There we go. Go up at the top. Then I'm going to do my Cerulean Blue. Ooh, too much. much. Yep, too much. Dark on it. Get in there. Alright, Cerulean goes here. Berlin Blue is my next choice. Ooh, get on there. Come on. Goodness. These are oozing out of the tubes. Alright, then we've got the Ultramarine Deep. Good grief. Back up in there. Squeeze the side of your tube and you can get that to suck that paint right back in there. That's the trick for that. Alright, I put you in the wrong spot. Berlin, you're up top. And there we go. Alright, then I said we were going to go with this turquoise. I can get it open. Ooh, that's a runny one too. All right. Ooh. Okay. We're almost halfway there. If you're enjoying this video, could I ask you to subscribe to my channel? Click that thumbs up button. Click on that bell notification so you can get updates and notifications for my upcoming videos. It makes a very huge difference in the growth and the support of my channel. And I have about 59 of you lovely subscribers so far, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, I am going to put affiliated links for the watercolors. And I'll put a link for the Etchr website so you guys can find this Etchr palette. And check out that new carrying case that they have. I think they've got that up on their website. I am about out of my... Ooh, that squeezed wrong. That is going to be hard to squeeze now. There we go. Come on. Give me just a hair more. The struggles of trying to get the paint out of your tube when it's about empty. And you don't have one of those wonderful devices that squeezes it out flat for you. All right. Okay, my green gold. And then all right, I am going to put my, do I want to put my Hooker's Green next or my Sap Green? I think I'm going to put my Sap Green next, because I tend to use it a lot more than the other one. Now we've got my Hooker's Green. I realized I was not being able to make a dark enough green that I wanted. And Hooker's Green is a good mixing green. I like to take and add more stuff to it. So let's make sure this brush is nice and clean. And we'll swatch out this green. Yeah, see, that's a nice dark green. Really lovely green. I can use it by itself to get the greens, the natural greens here in Mississippi. We have these natural kind of greens. Let me show you what that looks like. And then there's all of the new swatches. The Hooker's Green, the Sandal Red, and the Rose Alizarin Madder. Now we've got just 2 more spaces left. So I've got my Burnt Sienna. And now you're saying, okay, why are you going to put in a Payne's Gray when you can take your Burnt Sienna and your Ultramarine and make a Payne's Gray? I think what I'm going to do is I think I am going to take this Payne's Gray out. Even though I do like it and use it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some titanium white and change my mind and put the titanium white in so that I have a little bit of a white for a highlight, and then I won't have to carry a tube of, or a jar of my favorite Dr. P.H. Martin's white that I like to use, the bleed proof white. All right, and so there is my new Etchr mini travel set 19 Wells palette. I'm going to take this little star and see if I can get some of this paint to go down that needs to go down. It is just wanting to stay on there. Okay. I am going to move this lid of paints real quick up here out of the way and see about putting this paint in here so I don't waste any of it. I do not like wasting my paint. There we go. Wipe that off. And then I can tap down this green one. tap down this yellow. All right, I think everything else looks like it's tapped down pretty good. Tap down that burnt sienna. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but my paints have been dry for a while, and they still have this nice sheen over the top of them, except for this Chinese white. It's really, really dry. I just stuck my thumb right in the middle of that paint. So, there's my swatching sheet. There is my palette. Now, this does come with a swatching card, and I am not going to use my swatching card because I want to be able to keep it and make cut out a new swatching card on some regular paper, and then I will put that in there, and I can keep the original swatching card as a template for me to use. So we've got the 19 colors that I'm going to take out next week. And I think what I'm going to try and do is a couple of bird paintings and maybe some paintings of cows and some landscape paintings. We're supposed to have a few storms in the next few days, so hopefully by next week I can still get out and get some plein air painting done for you guys. If you have any questions or comments for suggestions of subjects you'd like to see me paint this year with plein air, put them down in the description below, and I will be putting a link to the Meeden palette, filling these up with these colors and swatching those for the new ones of you who have, are new to my channel. I will also put down the, like I said, the link for the Etchr Lab website so you can see the palette and check out that new double case that they have, that they're releasing out. I think it's a pre-order. So I hope you've had a wonderful time watching me set up this Etchr Lab mini travel palette, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Goodbye for now, boardwalkers.